course, this is your show, but if I could reframe
Yeah,
the question
no,
a little bit, it's like, how
absolutely.
do I find off-market leads? Because I think if you compared $45,000, like different channels are going to cost different amounts of money, and different channels are going to produce different numbers of leads. And so your direct, let's use, like, you could compare direct mail to online advertising, and our online pay-per-click costs us a lot more to get a lead, but those leads are a lot more motivated typically. They're looking for us. We're not looking for them. So that
Yes.
lead volume is way down, but the conversion rate is a lot higher.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's like comparing apples to oranges. So what I would recommend for if you're listening and you want to start marketing to somebody, or you want to start finding some off-market houses, is number one, I look at supply and demand. You have some sort of demand. You're the demand. You're the landlord, right? And if you want to look at the areas that you are going to target and buy in. Otherwise, what's going to happen to you is what happened to me. I look at it like fishing. I use the analogy of fishing all the time. If I want to go out and catch a sailfish, I've got to be fishing for sailfish. I can't go bottom fishing for grouper if I want a sailfish. So I love to offshore fish, but I also need to go to the areas where the sailfish hang out. I can't go to the wrecks and the reefs and places and fish on the bottom. It's just, you might catch a sailfish once every 10 years. So for you guys as landlords, you've got to look at where you want to buy and then focus on that area specifically. Don't throw a net over the whole lake, because you'll get a bunch of trash fish that you don't want. And that's what happened to me. I was a flipper, and I was marketing in the beginning, and I was getting all these leads in these junky areas or these houses that I wouldn't buy and flip, and they're landlord type leads. And what I was doing is I was passing them off to somebody else who didn't have a very good business and didn't know what they were doing. So it would never produce any fruit for me. So I was like looking for a needle in a haystack. So you guys should target where you want to be, the area, and then just own that area. So if you're a landlord and you buy in a certain zip code, just go hammer that zip code yourself. And you can send mail, you can pull a list and then skip trace them and cold call them. You can send them text messages. You can send them a ringless voicemail message. Obviously, all that stuff has some legality in it. So make sure that you check state by state and area by area of what you can and can't do. But you really want to fish using your bait in your area that you're going to catch your fish. So just a lot of times we waste money on marketing. So as a wholesaler, fortunately, I can do something with every fish that comes into my net. So I have the ability to do that. If you're a flipper or you're a landlord in your guys' case, then you want to be looking in the area that you would buy for houses that you want to buy in with the tenants that you want to bring in. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting your marketing money and dollars. And that's the worst thing is if you don't have a plan and a structure for what the results should look like, and then starting from the beginning. So I would say you can market really cheap, or I look at it like time and money. You either have money, like I do right now, and I don't have a lot of time, or you have time to drive around, like you said. Your wife can drive you around, put up some bandit signs. That's the cheaper way to go. Or knock on a couple doors, talk to some neighbors, do some more networking at RIA meetings and stuff like that, and spend your time, because it's gonna be a lot cheaper. And so what I do, the reason my budget's so high, is like we get about 80 leads a week. So maybe 300 leads a month for $45,000. So that's kind of the structure of those 300 leads. Come maybe 150 appointments. About half of those are appointments. And then we're making offers on as many of those as we can. And we're getting like 10% of those become deals pretty much that close. So it's just a funnel that goes down.
Funnel, yeah.
But don't compare yourself to me for sure, because
Yeah.
I started in the very beginning, just knocking on some doors and stuff like that. So